want to know what the weak point of a mech is? The fucking pilot.
Get away from her, you bitch!
His papers say he was a raven.
Protocol 3.
A pattern blue!
Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I'm joined by Alice.
I'm putting together a team.
And Nico.
Smash. 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 Smash.
Did you just do the Markiplier meme in real life to only us?
Yeah.
Hold on, I did not have the outline pulled up.
We are batting 1,000 today. It's time to introduce a new format. Many people are talking about this. Its arrival has been heralded for a long time. Some have referred to it as the Mech Menagerie. Some have referred to it as the Lightning Round. Some have referred to it as Crash or Pass.
That's all of us in turn, actually.
One of us has referred to it as one of these three things.
I'm just saying,
Yesterday.
we all have important ideas.
No, okay. Today we are doing a little bit of a different thing, but don't worry. Still here to do what we do best, which is bullying Alice.
Wait, what?
Welcome to OSG Lightning Round Volume 1. Let's launch into it. But yeah, as kind of advertised over the last few months, we are doing like a what do you call it? Like a glancing pass at 10 beautiful women today.
Well, why are we doing 10 in one episode? Our usual record is to do one media over the course of 3 hours, which we call a power hour. So this is odd for us.
Alice, correction. Sometimes our pass is to do one media over the course of like 72 hours, longer than the media is.
Yeah, that's true.
Price of Smiles needed that level of depth.
Look, we karmically righted ourselves by spending way more time on Metal Gear, so I think we're okay. No, I mean, there's two answers to the reason we're doing this. The first answer is we always wanted to do an episode like this. And we were kind of just like, there's a bunch, we keep like a list, and there's a bunch that we've put in there, but I personally really wanted to get more from others. And so I've been like trolling y'all on social media repeatedly until you give me Mechs. And so we've gotten a couple.
And trawling. In a crap boat.
And trawling. And digging.
Mechs.
Weirdly, I had to like dig.
You know, when they hide the crabs down there and you gotta dig them up.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you consider treasure to be treasure if it's not wet? Like if you
it must be wet.
If you dig it up,
it must be wet. I don't know why this distinction exists now, but now that you've asked, it must be wet. That is the law.
No. I mean, are we going to distinguish, like, treasure from plunder?
This is the OSG hard stance. Treasure must be wet.
Oh, damn it. I was about to suggest, like...
So some of these mechs are going to be wet as hell, and some of me are going to be wet as hell.
I gotta go. I think I need to, like, pray. I think I need to go to the well house. The real second answer is sometimes there's mechs and shit that is just simply not worth devoting a whole episode to. Trust us. We have done the hard science. We have figured this out. We look at any kind of media that has mechs in it and we go, does this deserve 3 hours of us exhaustively talking about anything but the mechs until we hastily shove the mech rating portion in at the end? Or is this something that we really just... You know, much like Skibidi Toilet, like, do we just need to very briefly touch on this?
Yeah.
Don't touch Skibidi Toilet, please, listeners.
Skibidi Toilet is a threat in the Lightning Round suggestion channel.
You're actually super right, because I think one of the first times we talked about doing this was when Corey submitted the Final Fantasy 16 things, which is one of the things, spoilers, one of the things we're going to talk about today.
Oh my god, spoilers for the rest of this episode.
But yeah, I mean... We don't have, like, there's no reason to do, like, the whole giddy up rigmarole. Do we want to just get into it?
Giddy Up Rigmarole is now the name of our, like, 3-way Pacific Rim Jaeger.
Hey, Nico here in the break. Just wanted to let you know that while this is a podcast, and we'll always do our best to describe visuals we're commenting on, we'll also include links to the mechs and images we discuss in the show notes, and post actual photos on our show website. Along with that, make sure to check the show notes for content warnings as appropriate to the episode. That's all for now. Back to the show.
I think retroactively, I need to come out and say this. Voices of a
Alice is
Distant
gay?
Star should have been in the lightning round.
Yeah. That's one of those things you learn by doing, okay?
This is why. So this is also us declaring. This is how this works. As everybody knows, we're accrediting ourselves with a title of expert in this field.
Yeah, that's
as of this
true.
episode. We have no thesis to defend nor a panel to defend it to. So we're just declaring martial law in the genre, and we're experts now. So listen to what we have to say.
A number of words that just went into that, but I mostly am just like so excited by the idea of declaring martial law at the thesis panel.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. They're
Yeah.
always telling you to defend your thesis. Have you considered Char's counterattack your thesis?
Drop a colony on the debate panel. Pass your thesis.
They can't stop
That's
you.
what we're saying.
Earth is dying and we have to go to space. I'm going to prove it with this small practical experiment of destroying Australia.
For a second, I thought you were about to say the small practical joke.
We joke around here. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's jump into these.
Yeah.
I'm going to level with you. I'm going in raw on all of these except the one I submitted.
Wow.
What do you mean you're going in raw?
I
Alice didn't watch the damn videos.
I intentionally am pulling these up as we go. That is my review.
Hot takes.
Okay.
Hot takes. All right, well, Alice will have hot takes. The rest
Nothing.
of us will have
Okay.
studied
We'll have,
scientific takes.
I guess, cold takes.
We're serving you these takes cold as hell.
You read the 700-word Wikipedia page from Destinypedia?
Yeah,
So you know everything
obviously.
about this one, right?
Because I love my friend. No, I mean, I skimmed these, but I did do the respect. Brian put together a beautiful document full of 10 beautiful women, so I browsed the women. It must be
shout
said.
out to Brian. These videos were all super short. Thank you for respecting my time.
I actually watched hours of footage for this. I just decided what was essential for you guys to watch. But just know, listener, that Alice could not even be bothered to do that.
I was doing a bit.
Oh, shit. Alice just walked into the studio and started just absolutely shooting us with Glocks. Double-wielding Glocks.
Laura
Mech
Croft
Glocks.
ass type shit.
Laura Croft, her hair was in a braid, and it was going like this.
You definitely read the 72-page comic that I purchased for our family and the 12-page wordless follow-up, right? I got that one just for you because there's not even words in it.
I was a little disappointed on how not gay it was, but yeah, I did.
Oh my god, sometimes Yuri is the wind through blades of grass, okay?
Shut the fuck up. Wordless Yuri is the name of this episode.
Wordless here.
Hey, let's start because I'm really excited for the first one.
So we are, just to give I should actually say, we're just going to say this is the thing. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to rate each one as we go. If we care enough or if it seems interesting, we might average ourselves at the end. But
Point of
that's
order
what we're gonna do.
for our team.
Yeah.
Who is recording these?
Who's recording what?
Will someone be taking notes so that the...
Dibs.
Okay.
Oh, on the ratings?
Yeah,
I got
Because we're
ratings.
about to do, I don't know if you did the math on this, we're about to do 30 distinct numbers.
Logistics question. Are these all going on the page, or is this a amalgamation score that goes on ratings? Or are the ratings just on the page itself?
Well, let's just say we're going to average ourselves at the end, and that'll be our official rating for the
Okay,
episode.
that's what I thought. I thought that would be funny.
Okay, let's do this. The first one...
The first one is Destiny. Destiny finally making a cameo appearance on this podcast.
Destiny...
It's our Destiny.
Destiny actually has, I feel like, several mechs. This is definitely... So this one was submitted by friend of the show, Ghost.
Scribe of the show.
Scribe of the show, Ghost. We got Insurrection Prime, comma, the Skell Scourge, which is the boss name title for this thing from Destiny 2.
Dark Souls ass boss name.
Dark Souls ass boss name. I'm just going to actually read what Ghost said when they submitted this, which is that the final boss of the Scourge of the past raid in Destiny 2 is Insurrection Prime. The Fallen are a race of scavengers that have fallen, per the name, on hard times. Following the departure of the Traveler, it is the first brig, which I'm assuming is the
That's
act
what
of
they call
putting
the Mechs, yeah.
the mech, yeah. And it's cool because if you know Destiny, like this one is piloted by a servitor, which is just really, really like a fun touch. A servitor was like one of the first bosses in Destiny 1. Anyway, it was constructed by Civics, lost to none. Well, that's just a noun we're gonna have, and we don't know anything about this man.
Listen, I think that trans people are the best at picking names. I think frankly, if you're like, I'm thinking of transitioning, what name should I pick? You can't go wrong with Civics lost to none, especially if you like double hyphenate lost to none as your surname.
To be clear, it's spelled Siviks. I just realized I said the word civics, which is interesting, right? Because he's like probably a civil engineer for the Fallen or something. And it's like, this is some Star Wars naming. He's going into those
fucked up like Fallen hideouts. Because to be fair, for total transparency, I played the most of Destiny 1. So I mostly remember the Fallen as like living in fucking Belarus, I guess. And like some junk outside the Cosmodrome.
Yeah, so... the quick lore drop on the Fallen is that they had the big white orb, the Traveler, before humanity did.
Yeah,
and then it totally ditched them, which is why they had like a technological apocalypse and are weird scavenger bugs now. It's also why, again, they make these big servitor balls that look exactly like the Traveler. So it's just fun. Again, Dark Souls ass stuff.
I will say my immediate response to seeing that they had mechs now was like, yo, you have mechs now. I'm so happy for y'all. Because, like, my understanding of where the side enemies went in Destiny 2 is that, like, there was a lot more cultural development of these kind of, like, characters that had previously been, like, little shoot-'em-up enemies in the first one. And so, as far as I'm aware, like, the Fallen now have, like, I don't know, like, actual thought put into their, like, societal structure and stuff, and I just think it's great for them. They earned it. They got mechs.
They've had like a whole bit where they were actually helping the humans out for a little while. They've had a lot of fun stuff going on.
I mean, we can say Destiny has cool ass world building, even in its silliest parts.
To give it its credit where it's due, it does have incredible like ideas going on. But this thing is like a big round. You know what it looks like? It looks like the Chrome Devastator.
It does look like the Chrome Devastator. Oh, I love this for her. She's like, new franchise, who dis? I'm the Chrome Devastator, 1 million dead Guardians or whatever the fuck.
As always, I'm going to die on this hill. We need to talk about like what it does in the media that it's in. So I linked a video of the boss fight of the raid. And I gotta say,
holy shit, that launch sequence though. I am horny for mechs. So it like launches and Destiny does really cool stuff with like retrofuturism and stuff. And so it's launching like the fucking Atlas V rocket to just hop up the ground. And it's so fucking cool looking. This is the first brig of a series of brigs, if I remember right, but this is like the most notable one.
I am not super sure if it's like... it's definitely the most notable one. I don't know if like all brigs are piloted by servitors. I don't know if like a Fallen will pilot it. I don't know if they're like exosuits really other than this, but this is definitely like the first one, and it's like this big moment. You can tell that they like put a lot of effort into the reveal of this thing.
Yes.
I will say from where it launches, it basically doesn't do anything and doesn't move and just kind of stands there and shoots at you.
You kind of just fight the mobs that spawn from it.
It spawns a bunch of ads, and you mostly are dealing with those like in ruined buildings, which is like cool, but like the big mech should probably do some steppies and like...
Yeah, I think the issue there is that, like, you know, we talk a lot about scale on this show.
like having it at a distance is probably the easier way to convey scale without having to do a shitload of animations, especially for these kind of fights that actually convey how small your guardian is in relation to it.
Yes, they've already done this exceptionally well with Oryx, which was another raid boss. So like this guy is supposed to be on the same caliber. It's a raid boss. Oryx, you can't even see the lower half of Oryx's body. Like you're constantly in danger of getting grabbed by his big ass hands, swatted, punched, thrown around. Like he is interacting with the stage and the players in a very real way as like a very large man. So I think that they could have done a little bit more with this.
I will say, I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that its weapons hit hard. And in any boss fight like this, especially in Destiny, using cover is very important. So I feel like there is a moment. We watched a no commentary fight of this, and there's a moment where the Guardian takes a direct hit from its arm cannon and knocks him completely off of his ass.
Ragdolls him.
Ragdolls that motherfucker. Can we talk about the death knell though? When that last little ejection missile that pops out of it and it spirals and explodes. Yes. Rest in peace, pilot. Never forget.
I do love any ejection system that fails. Like, I just fundamentally think if you're going to have an ejection system, it should be like a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
You go down with your ship or you die in the air like a idiot.
Aesthetically, it's beautiful. I like the weird blue glowy bits that it has all over it. You know, the kind of organic, inorganic bullshit it's got going on.
How are y'all feeling about the bulbousness, though? We don't tend to be fans of a bulbous mech.
I actually do like organic shapes. I think they're pretty cool here. Like the Fallen are very all of their technology is very organic looking and like carapace-y in a lot of ways. So it's got like lots of roundness but also lots of spikes. And this is more of that and it looks pretty good. I don't love the base color really, but I think it's shaped pretty good.
I like the markings on it. Makes it look very like we are repurposing lost technology, which is what the Fallen do.
Yeah.
They steal technology, and it has a lot of that vibe to it that I think the visual has to give it. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to give this episode a theme, I think a lot of these are like junkers, which I think is funny. I do love a jury-rigged mech, it must be said, so.
Well, Alice, what is your rating?
Oh, yeah. So these are going to follow nothing but my feelings and are based on nothing ever we have ever covered ever.
Smash or pass?
Smash or pass. This is a smash.
I said crash, but okay.
Oh, crash or pass, but an actual score, 9 out of 10. It could have been cooler, but I really just like everything it's doing in its setting, and I like a crunchy mech.
Nice. Bri?
Nice. This is a 6 for me. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot more that could go on here. That's pretty much it. Yeah,
I'm going to kind of agree there and put a 7, just because I do love any time we evoke my beautiful wife, the Chrome Devastator, in any way. Even if it's an evocation that only we are like, oh my god, it's just like her, the Chrome Devastator.
It's just like the first time I saw her.
You're just as beautiful as the first time I saw. Yeah, the like if the girl on the right is just as beautiful as the girl on the left kind of shit. Anyway, yeah, I think it's cool and mostly like I said, I'm stoked for the Fallen. Like they went through a lot, and I think emotionally, as reparations, mechs are pretty good.
The Fallen are pretty close to an acceptable bug. And that's a pretty far distance with me.
And I think later in this episode, I did push you a little bit on bugs, which I apologize for with Modern Carapace. So I'm glad we have an acceptable bug up front. Acceptable bug culture.
Acceptable bug culture. On to round 2.
On to love and respect to Corey, friend of the show. Unfortunately, I was exposed to Final Fantasy.
You were opposed?
I was exposed to
Have you
Final
never played Final Fantasies?
I think I played like 7 a million years ago for like 2 minutes, and then I'm so sorry. Huge correction I have to issue right now. I played Crystal Chronicle on the GameCube.
That's cool.
That is the extent of my exposure to Final Fantasy.
Wow, why don't you like Final Fantasy? Nobody could figure this out.
It truly, yeah.
So, our next round is on the icons from Final Fantasy 16. Surface reading from both of you, like as you kind of like looked at these, right? Because these are very they're on the line and more not in the realm than anything, I think. But
they feel a little more to me like gut check, like Persona summons, in the sense of like you are evoking something that is kind of mythical out of your being, and technically I guess there is a piloting aspect, but
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I struggled.
Gut check, I get it, and I love a shonen fusing into a superpower, and also people being able to like, hey, I brought Metallic Rouge on here. I think it's pretty established that I really love when a person has the mech inside of them and just transforms. And we've gotten into the debate of like, is that truly mecha? In my mind, it is. And I think these are really cool. Aren't these just like old dormant gods you keep inside of you that are very organic? Okay, it works. But also, I looked at all of them, and then I saw Shiva, and I said, Corey, I get it. There's something here for everybody.
Yeah. Well, actually, between Corey and I, who both played this game and both actually really liked this game, by the way, I feel like this game is super underrated. But Shiva is probably our least favorite.
I watched a fight of her. It looked really annoying.
I will say, in the video that you linked us, I could see how this would bring to mind mechs for people, because the sense of scale and some of the, like, visual motifs that are happening here, I think, have strong, like, you can connect those to mecha pretty easily. Like, especially when they first see Ifrit, when it, like, rises up, and there's just like two people on the ground looking up at it. That's really like a mech moment. It's, to be fair, it's also kind of a kaiju moment. Like that kind of like, holy shit, this thing is huge.
Also, that's his mom seeing him like that for the first time. Anyway.
Do you ever just see your child grow up
and become a
big monster?
It's complicated. She's a fascist and she hates him. But anyway,
so she was having the worst day of his life. To him, it was a Tuesday.
She extremely sucks. It's actually kind of a fun character thing. But
the other thing I would mention is like in this fight, the one it's fighting, that's Shiva, right? The one it's fighting.
It's fighting Bahamut.
Okay, it's fighting Bahamut. I knew there were like a couple of aerial ones with wings. I was trying to keep them straight. When Bahamut like fires off. There's a point at which Bahamut just like fires missiles, which it's very funny to me. And I was like, okay, I could see how this is evoking mechs to some people.
And like I have an argument here, and it's like
present it.
There's a line of logic. So,
approach the bench.
The medium I'm going to use to bridge these two things together, these two things being Final Fantasy 16 icons and like mecha, is Attack on Titan. Because those are also dormant gods that are organic that you come out of you. Now, the one thing I think Attack on Titan is inarguably mechs. They're meat mechs, but they are inarguably mechs. And the reason I say that is because the one thing that they do have that this doesn't have is a piloting apparatus. So like in Attack on Titan, like they have these nerve endings that go in their eyes. It's super gross and weird. But you see the inside of the Titan. You see them reacting to things. Like you see how the Titan is mediating the world for them.
Yeah, there's like a cockpit. There is a cockpit, whether a virtual cockpit or a literal cockpit, which I do think is an important element.
And you don't have that at all in Final Fantasy 16. The icon essentially replaces the character model for all intents and purposes. You don't actually ever see them.
Yeah, so it is like Alice, like you said, it is a little closer to Metallic Rouge, where it's like...
Now, what I will say is they do have, and what this video isn't going to show you in like you have to get the whole context right, but the idea is there's a lot of piloting going on in the sense that like this video is actually the first time Clive pilots Ifrit confidently. The only other times you ever pilot him really, you don't have all your abilities or you're completely out of control. Like there are several Mazinger rampages in this
I got
game.
that sense from the wiki page.
Yeah.
It's emotionally attuned, which honestly, to be fair, I think emotional issues causing rampages is an all-time mecha thing, especially for any mecha that, you're connecting to mentally.
It's like what happens when you put this all-powerful tool of destruction in the hands of someone who is a unfit to wield it
Going
for,
through it.
whatever purposes that does actually serve in the end,
Yeah, to be fair, if somebody handed me a mech, I would just like obliterate a suburban area by accident because I've just kind of got a lot going on.
Right. Well, we all know this about you.
But that's basically like my only thing I would say is like that pins them to mecha. Again, this is probably the loosest one we have today.
See, but for me, I think it really is just like, yeah, this is mecha to me. Like, I don't know
Fair
how
enough,
to,
yeah.
I can't approach the bench, Your Honor, but vibes alone, it is a mecha.
Now, let's talk about them as how we normally talk about mechs, which is to say, I think these things are so fucking cool. This is some of my favorite designs in Final
Fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
First off, the art for all of these is the most Final Fantasy as art in the world that I love. There's so many pointy bits, but seeing it actually translated into the media of a video game, it hits, yo.
Do you guys have a favorite?
You'll never guess.
Is it Garuda?
It's Mecha Musume Shiva.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did
that makes
like
sense.
the combination of Ifrit and Phoenix. It's what Ifrit Risen or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think it's the best of both worlds. Get you some wings, get you some horns. I think we all want that. So
That's definitely fair. My favorite's definitely Odin. I don't know if you guys looked at that one.
yeah,
That motherfucker is so cool.
that's
I
a dude
actually
on
think.
a horse, but also that's not bad.
Oh yeah, but the horse is also Schleipnir. It has all 6 legs and everything. Like they use that shit to kill the Taru. But no, the video that I was debating between, I actually talked to Corey about this, and I think I agree with him as this being the more mecha video. The other one I was gonna show was the one where Odin literally cuts the ocean in half. Like, he cuts the ocean in half so bad that there's an extended sequence where you're inside the ocean being split like fucking Moses. It's incredibly fucking cool.
Now, that is incredibly mech to me, actually.
Yeah,
Just like those
yeah.
kind of devastating impacts on the environment, I think. are
Yeah,
very
exactly.
cool. That brings to mind for me a lot of the gunbuster, we've compressed 1 million dying Jupiters or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
hey, maybe
yeah,
we
exactly.
shouldn't be going this hard. Maybe this is bad for the environment.
So, yeah. Do we have ratings on these?
So based alone on the fact that I've played other Final Fantasies and the lore of Final Fantasy is such that I was like, hey, I remember this. I know the Dark Lord of Darkness, Odin. My man, he's back. Vibes alone, again, you show me a pretty woman, ice princess, Mecha Musume, and baby, I'm gonna show you a 10.
Nice.
Brian?
I'm gonna say that, like, while I think that, so these are, like Alice mentioned, all of the icons are Final Fantasy staple characters, like dating all the way back to, at the very least, 3, if not 1. So, like, they will all have different iterations based on the game. This has definitely my favorite iteration of Odin, my favorite iteration of Bahamut. That being said, like I mentioned, they are too far away for me from being mechs to rate them on a mecha scale super high. So I'm going to give them a 5.
Mm-hmm. I feel similarly to Brian, but I'm worse because I don't.
These don't do anything for you.
I don't really like mythological, unless the mythological has been translated into the mechanical. I'm not really like high on when a big bird comes out or like there's just like a big demon looking thing or like, I mean, I like meat mechs, so I do like sometimes like an organic. That's why I think I like the Ifrit Risen, because it gives me some of that meat mech, like, you mash these two things together. I don't necessarily think they were supposed to, you know, I like some of that transgression, but otherwise I was just kind of like, wow, that is sure is some extremely anime-looking people and some extremely detailed, flashy creatures. And again, the lack of a cockpit for me was like, well, never the two shall meet. So it is going to get a 2 from me.
Love that.
Oh,
You're
all
welcome,
right.
Corey.
Yeah, Alice is the only one out here supporting Corey.
Corey and
I'm
I
sorry.
are oddly on the same wavelength, but Corey's thing is sexy men doing this exact same thing, and mine is
Oh.
sexy women doing this exact same thing.
And let me tell you, the other thing that this game does for those with that taste is that every human male is unbelievably attractive. There are so many hot men in tight leather.
I
It's
struggle
absolutely
a lot.
astonishing.
I struggle a lot with the Final Fantasy aesthetic complication of, yeah, I guess that man has a beard, but under it he just kind of looks like a Bishoujo. Like,
I don't know. I think
super
they're
smooth. Everyone's
in this.
kinda,
No, wrong.
Yeah.
I think they are Dorito shaped in this one. You gotta look at it.
I don't care
It's
about
like,
the body shapes. I just like when I look at someone's face and it's like, oh, you're the components of your face don't see. Okay, this isn't even related to Mechs. I'm just.
This is nothing. Okay. You're just a misandrist. We don't have to listen to this.
Okay, let's go on to Dune. Or not Dune.
Yeah, let's go
Jesus
to Dune. The sandworm is a mech. In this essay.
You know, it is pilot.
You know,
no, that's a mount. Anyway.
It's a mount. You're correct. Doom Eternal. This one was also submitted. Oh, by the way, yeah, Corey submitted that last one. This one was also submitted by Ghost. Am I right about that?
Ghost kind of dominated this one. I think we all
Ghost got in early. Ghost got in fast.
Yeah.
Ghost. The props to listeners who sent us stuff. I love that. That's what I wanted. Thank you very much. Ghost sent us a very thoughtful and detailed and like organized email with like 9 suggestions in it. So we might come back to those for other episodes too.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
which is domination in this field.
Which is domination.
Yeah.
Speaking of domination, Doom Eternal.
What if Space Marines fought demons? Is the energy I immediately got from the opening of this portion.
Master Chef.
Master Chef.
So these are called Atlans. I'm gonna say right now, these are just cool as fuck. They're huge. And they have big lightning spears. And they're just like this is your classic ancient race developed a super weapon. Most of them are gone, but we have this one that we can use.
Yeah, classics from things like Mazinger, things like, it's just a good trope. If we may cover it at some point, but it is deeply mediocre. But if you've read the book Sleeping Giants, yeah, classic.
It is just one model in a stuck animation loop, so that's gonna hurt it in the ratings. But
yeah,
well, there's another one that's doing more like it's doing more artillery support, and the other one is engaged in like melee combat with a lightning spear. So you get to kind of see 2 modes, but they are mostly standing.
This was a great moment in the game, by the way.
The animation loop in question is it disemboweling a giant kaiju. So like I can't complain too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I don't know. Like this one is really just there. I think this is a perfect lightning round entry because it's like, yep, we got it. Got it in one, guys.
Mechs in this one.
We got Mechs in this one.
Did
this
you guys
thing looks
play
awesome.
Doom Eternal?
No.
Okay. This was a pretty fucking wow cool robot scene. I mean, it was all very wow cool, everything's happening at once scene. I don't know.
And honestly, you do love to see a winged demon flapping around a giant mech. Like, simply, you love to see it.
And that's, I'm glad, if for no other reason, because I'm not someone who cares super especially about Doom, but I will say stuff like this makes me glad they're coming back to it, like in the modern age of games, because this is the kind of stuff you can do with the concept of, again, like Nico said, what if a Space Marine was literally in hell, literally fighting Satan?
And he needed the hardware to do it, and this is the hardware.
What if the Doom guy was just a giant mech?
Yeah. What if Big Doom guy? Big Doom
what
guy
if
theory.
Big Doom guy? Big guy who's only ever seen Doom guy. This is giving me huge Doom guy vibes. Yeah, Alice, what's your rating?
3. It's cool. It's not a 0. It looks like the gun cannon, but I like the lance sword. I don't know. You can't play them. They're an unplayable thing. They're literally just background things.
They're a set piece.
Which is really cool, but also, like, they're kind of, when you really think of it, nothing burgers, which I've been told to stop saying, but yeah, 3.
Every time you say nothing burger, you have to eat an everything bagel so that, like, cosmically the universe is balanced.
No, you'll become Jobu Tupaki.
I should go get an everything bagel for breakfast. Thanks for reminding me.
You should.
Yeah.
I should go to call your mother and get an everything bagel for breakfast. Everyone should be doing this.
I wish there was, like, a local bagel breakfast sandwich.
This is a 7. I like this thing. This is my shit. It's so big. It has a big stuff. It doesn't do anything. It's basically what I wanted Insurrection Prime to be if it wasn't gonna do anything, if it was just gonna stand in the background. It should at least disembowel a kaiju, okay?
Yeah, for me, this is a 5. I think this is straight up and down. You know what? That's a mech. That's a mech.
To me,
It's big, it's robotic, it has two different types of weaponry, ranged and melee. They have a pretty decent aesthetic, and yeah, it's fighting like a huge... I mean, you keep saying kaiju, but I think this is a demon, and you know what? I do...
A demon can be a kaiju, can be an alien, can be a ghost, can be a porn star.
That is a wild statement. That's not an OSG hard stance. That's an OSG experimental. We got to take this one to the lab.
No, we're experts. We're experts, and everything we say should be taken as fact.
Curious, and they continue studying. That is now the OSG research project. Is the sentence that Brian just said insane or not? Anyway, I do think it's cool. Like, I'm a sucker for the juxtaposition between technology and mythology in this way. I think that's what's missing for me in Final Fantasy. Like, if we're going to be doing a big kaiju fight, I would honestly prefer to have one that's really mechanized versus one that's really mythological. So this kind of hits a little bit more for me, but again, straight down the middle. Yep, that's a mech.
That is a mech. For the next round, we have one that was submitted by me. So this is Numidium. True Elder Scrolls girlies know about Numidium already. This is like an iconic thing in video games, right?
And which of our beloved listeners submitted this one?
This one was me.
Wow. Thank you for listening. Brian's cute little pose.
I would argue Nico and I logistically and literally listen more than anyone else. So
we definitely
get
listen more than my spouse. Bang. That's a huge stray fired into my spouse. They'll never hear.
That's good. No, this is like the big thing at the end of Morrowind. Have you guys played Morrowind?
Yes.
No. I know
Okay.
they got bugs. They got the big guys.
Can I say the thing that every enlightened person ever will say, which is like, why are people into Skyrim when you have Morrowind right over here? And it's so much better.
I mean, people still go to bat for Morrowind. I hear actually more about Oblivion in terms of like, why do people like Skyrim so much? But yeah, Morrowind came before Oblivion.
Well, I mean, one of these games has people that look like sticks of butter, and then one of them is Skyrim, so... No, I'm kidding.
Well, look, I mean, the character models in Morrowind are not anything to be...
Morrowind is of its era.
I will ask this since it's semi-relevant. Older video games, are y'all tolerant to the art style?
Oh, totally. I love Morrowind.
I was recently exposed to someone who's like, I can't play XYZ game because it looks too ugly to me now. And I'm like, do you have no love in your heart? Do you have no historical curiosity? Alice, where are you at?
It depends. That's what I'll say. It depends deeply. If the story is good enough, I can look past pretty much anything. Like, I'll play Far Cry 2 any day of the week, and that is, oof. I will replay the original Half-Life multiple times because good story, good gameplay, but there are ones where it's just like, I'm not going back to the old Crash Bandicoots, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't believe you wouldn't fuck OG Crash Bandicoot. Like, what are we even doing here on this podcast?
Are you implying that you would fuck OG Crash Bandicoot?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Brian, what about you? What's your tolerance?
I mean, I like it. I play old video games all the time.
That's where I'm kind of at too. Now, to be fair, here's the turnabout. The game they were talking about was Dragon Age Origins, which if you've ever watched a sex scene from Dragon Age Origins...
Yeah, real ones know, like, Mass Effect was so famous for being titillating, but, like, come on, Dragon Age Origins is right there.
If you're not gently gyrating your character model against the character model of someone in your party while, like, knockoff Enya plays in the background, like, I don't think you deserve the storytelling of Dragon Age Origins, which is great. Anyway.
Which is great. So anyway, Morrowind has a famously good character writing and a famously jank game engine that just doesn't function a lot. Which is actually until Skyrim, I would say, I would very firmly argue, has been the case for all of Bethesda's games.
Well, and you know what's funny? I mean, I know that it's important to reuse assets and things you've worked on, but it seems like they got to Skyrim and then they just went, okay, and from here on out, we can scaffold any AAA video game we want to make just off of Skyrim, and we don't necessarily need to change a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What are these fucking sex scenes?
So, needless to say, this is a very old video game. The UI is like archaic. The character models are very fun. I just for some facts, every time Morrowind comes up in conversation, I say these things because I just think they're really funny. Fact number 1, if you're wearing a robe or a dress in Morrowind and you stand outside in the sunlight, your shadow will have legs. And then the other thing is, if you're a mage, you can get a spell called, I think, like Spectral Leap or something like that. The only thing stopping you in Morrowind from walking from spawn, like level 1, straight to the last boss is a big fence. So you can use that to hop the fence at level 1 and immediately engage the last boss. This is like a speedrunning thing that has been known, and I think it's just extremely funny that like games now have like yellow paint and like all these reasons to block you off from, or like, you know, games of this era would like be like, oh, there's a chair in the way, I cannot go that way. But no, Bethesda was like, let's just make a wall, build the wall.
Games of our modern era would have like a skybox to ground, like invisible.
Yeah.
Wall, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So those are just fun things about Morrowind. So this is our
big man.
This is our classic super weapon from the dawn of civilization, right? One of the famous questions in the Elder Scrolls, this is one of like the big lore things that people love about Elder Scrolls, is what happened to the dwarves. There are no more dwarves in all of Elder Scrolls. Like you will never meet a dwarf character.
Like if you're playing Dragon Age Origins, you can gently gyrate your character model against a dwarf. But
yes,
in Elder Scrolls you can't because they're all dead.
And for all we know, just due to the like Alice mentioned, they're called Dwemer. Due to like the language naming convention that is actually super cool and thoughtful, I will say. For all we know, they were a lot more like elves than anything.
Short elves just dropped.
So, but anyway, this is like one of the big thought of answers to what might have happened to the dwarves, which is to say, a dwarf architect built these 3 earth-shatteringly powerful tools and then used them to make a giant, horrible skeleton meat mech thing. And then they all disappeared. So
yeah, I think what happened probably is they looked over and saw that this guy had built this thing and were like, whew, we got to get out of here. And everyone just left and went to Bermuda. Like, there is an island somewhere where all of the Dwemer live. The population density is Tokyo levels. And it's just because the vibes of this thing were off.
So that's the stakes, right? Is the villain of this game wants to activate this thing again and potentially cause another of that thing to happen.
Another Bermuda Exodus.
I think it's just an incredibly cool idea. Again, given how old this video game is, like I would say this was not a trope yet for this thing to be like this.
Can we talk about... So there's the first one, which we see in a wall, which is pretty fucking cool as hell. And we're like, oh, that shit looks fucking terrifying. But this dude is making a second one, and he is making this shit in an active volcano. And it's got bones.
It's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I will say, so like the people have drawn that first iteration of it because that's all we ever get of the first Dominion is that cave drawing. So people have drawn it. One person built it in Elder Scrolls Online.
I think I looked at that image.
You did. You dropped it in here. It looks so fucking cool, realized.
Yeah. It's really cool. Ryan W. Boswell 1991 on Reddit at least posted it. I don't know if they actually were the ones that built it. But yeah, that kind of thing, that kind of fandom effect is always going to kind of hit on with a mech for me. So yeah, that's basically what we have here. Big, scary, gross skeleton man, half built, nasty Silent Hill baby. I'm saying sentences today.
You're really trying.
All right, Alice, rate the end of the dwarves.
I love a super weapon in the middle of construction with exposed rib cages for some reason. But the fact that we don't see it do anything mech and we only have lore can only go so far. 5 out of 10, baby.
Straight down the middle. That's a mech to me. Brian?
This is a 6. I basically completely agree. I wish that... I wish for a future in which Bethesda was interested in being adventurous and experimental again. And hopefully Elder Scrolls 6 is maybe that, but like we all saw what happened with Starfield. I don't know. What I'm saying is maybe one day...
Mechs and then they specifically put them in a corner where you couldn't play with them.
Yeah, and maybe what I'm saying is maybe one day we'll come back to the new medium, and similar to like what happened with the Chrome Devastator and Insurrection Prime, we'll see a more fulfilled version
of history. Is that inevitably you just reinvent the Chrome Devastator again?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, this is hitting two notes that I don't see super often simultaneously. You got your meat mech, and not only that, a decayed meat mech, a half-constructed meat mech. You got your ancient mech. You got, like, mask-like features to it. You've got, like, older style, like, I love to see something that is like, oh, this is technologically advanced, but it uses visual language from, like, older cultures. I love to see something like that. I mean, I did love watching Atlantis: The Lost Empire, it must be said. So, for me, I'm going to say this is an 8. You know, I'm a little higher on this than y'all just because I love a decaying skeleton and I love
I think we're
technology.
seeing like a shape start to emerge that's really interesting with the lightning round, which is that we are really able to hit on highlighting our own sensibilities. Our scores are so wildly different. I think it's so interesting. Anyway.
Now Alice is going to take action against us.
Hey,
now Alice is going to take action against this.
Wait, I had one last thought. Doesn't this guy look like Leggett Lanius from Fallout New Vegas?
Yes. Yes, he does.
That's it.
Big Leggett theory.
Just have to remind everybody we're a queer podcast and talk about Fallout New Vegas.
Goes to the Hoover Dam. Oh my God, that's what killed all the dwarves.
All right, Alice, what are we looking at here? What have you put on our plate?
Hey, these next ones, so my submission to Lightning Round are the airframes from, and I'm going to read the full title, Trapped in a Dating Sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs.
Now can you explain a little bit about what that means for the listeners, please, Alice?
Kind of get into the etymology of any of those words.
Of long-ass light novel names. So an Otome game is a girls dating game. Basically, you are a generic female protag, and all of these sexy guys want to date you. And you get
Dragon Age Origins. No, I'm kidding.
It's just, it's very heteronormative. You are just going through the hot dudes and dating them. And okay, I have to give the backstory. So this is also an isekai, which means transported from another world. Mm-hmm. So the main character, his younger sister makes him play this dating sim game so that she can know what happens, because she doesn't play dating games, but she wants to know the story of this one. And he generally plays, male-oriented games. So he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. He stays up late at night and then gets run over by a truck. Classic. And wakes up not as any of the princes, not as the main character, as often happens. He wakes up as a mob character. What is a mob character? They're the generic guys in the background that we don't even draw their faces. He's just
you heard of him.
Some dude.
Mob Psycho.
It's Mob Psycho.
It's always so funny to me how the title of Mob Psycho sounds insane to Westerners, because those words are not just how we use them. Like, the mafia and psychosis. And it's like, no, it's generic guy in the background with psychic powers. And so I'm glad you contextualized that word. This guy is a nothing. He's a supporting character.
He's a supporting character. So he lives in this world where he keeps getting shit on constantly because main characters are annoying. And it's very much, all of these are power fantasies is what you always need to remember. So his knowledge of the game lets him sequence break the game and get like the shit the main character would get, which includes a ancient alien starship with an onboard AI and a giant mech. The mechs in this are called airframes. And the reason this doesn't require us to cover it, this show fucking sucks. Nobody should watch this. It's terrible. But the mechs only appear in like 1.5 episodes as plot. So what he shows up with, his airframe is called Arrogans because he's arrogant. And basically he ends up defending the villainous. So in these games, the main character usually has another female who is sabotaging her, often called the villainous. This is a generic trope used in all these. And so
which is also part of why Yuri is so popular.
Read any Yuri about saving the villainous. There are a lot of them. But basically he defends the villainous from the generic pretty boys who are the main cast and the obvious person playing the game who is now the main character. And how do you fight that out? Well, obviously the school has a giant mech arena coliseum where we fight in. And we literally get an episode where he just shows up in this fucking, it's a black chunky metal boy. And he is just like, hey, fuck these guys in particular. Here, I actually took a couple of screenshots just to kind of get you the idea of what this...
The video you posted is the best because it is a sequence of thematic men in little mech suits fighting the chunkiest motherfucker on the earth. And let me say, you can guess my score already on this guy's mech specifically. I don't know. Well, it'll probably be modulated by the others.
So
he's fighting him with a shovel.
Yeah,
he's fighting him with a shovel.
So he is technically, because they're in a rich people's school, he is technically the lord of some land or earns some land. I don't know. Story's bad. But he uses the mech to help them till the land. So when he summons his magical weapon, it's just a shovel, and he just beats these people up with a shovel. And they all are doing I'm the Green Ranger, so I use wind attacks. And he's just like, bonk. And he beats all of them. Then he beats the prince, and then they all combine like Power Rangers into one friendship mech. And he is like audibly crying. He's like, don't do this. You guys should just concede. Don't make me beat up your beautiful friendship moment. I don't want to do this. But I'm also not going to let you get away with this. So he ends up just disintegrating them. Anyway, they're nothing burger, but it's very funny how they use this in this story of this guy just being like, no, I'm going to be a piece of shit who's evil now because fuck pretty boys. Anyway, Brian, do you have any thoughts on these little boys? Even the little mechs that show up? Guys.
Okay, is the medic the one? I like the one that has like the weird cylinder head.
Yeah, those are the medic. Those are the medic guys.
I think those are super, super cool. Everything else is extremely meh to me. This is the kind of this is something they discussed this recently on Media Club Plus. You'll go through and you'll watch an anime like Hunter x Hunter or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and you'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe anime is actually good. And then like a show like this is the one you end up watching next. And that's why a lot of people have only ever watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Like, this is exactly the kind of anime where it's like, if you can't pass this threshold, you're not going to like almost anything else.
Yeah, it's scientists developed the weeb ass shit scale. Okay, how weeby is it? How bad is it? And
now, that being said, like I mentioned, I really like the medics. I do like the black mech. It's a square. Yeah. It's a rectangle.
This man is a square.
Other than that, I'm kind of just like, all right.
Well, great. We're out of order. Alice, what's your damn score?
I don't like how they draw the women in this. But the mechs are pretty fun, but also the joke is played out very quickly, and I get it. This is a 5 out of 10 also.
Right down the middle. That's a mech to me. All right, Brian, what score do you want to put on your thoughts and feelings?
That's literally exactly what I was going to say, is 5. Right down the middle, those are mechs.
Those are mechs to me. Okay, I'm going to give it a 6, and the extra point is because of the shovel.
That's fair.
I feel exactly the same way, but there was a shovel. Oh, all right. Well, here's one that, Brian mentioned. I listen to this show fairly often, so I felt like it was important to contribute. So I submitted one. I submitted this. It is its own contained thing, and it is an independently created piece of media. I think we could have gotten an episode out of it, but it is fairly short. And the story's really simple. So I submitted the comic, Modern Carapace, O Bounty of Thy Ribs. Now this is by, I had to pull up the author's name in Adobe. This is by Jacob Cuddes. So this is an independent work. You can find him at Jacob Cuddes, JACOBKUDDES on Instagram and Twitter. This came out in 2023. It is a 72-page comic released on Gumroad, and it is about a person who acts as a park ranger to a wasteland and helps protect megafauna in a mech. And so I thought this would be fun to bring, and
The mech in question is called the Tarantula Hawk. Mechs in this are called Striders. Piloting a mech is called striding. And so this Strider is part of a rare unreleased series, and they call it the Tarantula Hawk. For those who don't know what a Tarantula Hawk is, Brian, just tune your whole body outwards. Go see your husband. Like, go somewhere. Anyway, no. If you fought a Cazador in Fallout New Vegas, second Fallout New Vegas reference, dang. Cazadors, I believe, were modeled directly off of Tarantula Hawks, which are like huge fucked up things. Yeah. But I like it. There's a lot of desert theming in this, and yeah, I brought this. And then there was a follow-up release, 12 pages, not even any text, just visual storytelling, called I believe it's called The Final Verse. So these two little comics are available on Gumroad. There'll be links and stuff.
Y'all should pick them up. They are
so
cool.
Yeah. All right. So that's my steal, or not my steal, my steez, my spiel.
Your spiel.
What were the vibes, Alice?
How do you pronounce weed?
Oh yeah,
It has an inflection over the E.
It has an inflection over it. So like when Beyonce does it, it's like eh. So maybe it's wed.
So it's Esther.
I don't
and
know what
Wed.
you guys are talking about.
She calls the carapace or the AI.
No. So this is confusing. So the main character of the comic is Esther, who's the pilot. And Esther works with a character called Wed or Weed. I feel bad that I don't actually know this. It's spelled W-E with a little accent over at D. And Wed, which is what I'm going to go with, is an AI that acts basically as her man in the garage. He works on the mech and helps feed combat data to her, but the mech is separate from Wed. So, yeah. Anyway, Tarantula Hawk.
I like how they go through a little pirate ride to get to their mech.
I do think that's very funny. I didn't know what that was about. I'm like, okay, there's a pirate ride in here.
I just think this concept fucking whips ass. Like, what a great idea.
So I like how the world building is a little light on this, but like,
yeah,
the idea is this is like weirdly post-apocalyptic. Post-apocalyptic? Am I reading that right?
It seems like some kind of calamity. They talk about the area that Esther is patrolling as a ranger is called just kind of the Western Expanse. And it is suffering from something, I believe it's called orange. Sorry, I want to find the specific phrase. God, I hate Adobe.
It says it at the beginning. Orange is medium or something.
I get it.
Orange air condition this morning.
Yeah. But there's a specific factor, like, it brings to mind Agent Orange. There's a specific environmental factor here that has damaged it, and part of the restoration of the area comes down to carefully stewarding a megafauna species that tunnel. So they bring in water, they distribute the air, they help with the air quality just by existing, and our Tarantula Hawk mech ends up in a conflict with poachers who are piloting their own mechs trying to steward this megafauna, which I think is a really cool use of mechs.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right.
Now, this guy as a mech,
let's
just talk about him.
Yeah.
Very robot, extremely robot pilled.
Yeah.
Like, what,
Yeah.
You think of a robot, that's what he looks like.
It's kind of giving standing man emoji. There's an interesting facet to this, which is like some of the parts look more mechanical than others.
Yeah.
The midsection and the arms have a sort of malleable look to them. Which I think is interesting because we see as the comic progresses that like weapons can be malleable. Repair kits are like orbs that turn into goop. Like there's an interesting, it's not like meat mech, but there is like almost a like
biotechnical or something.
Yeah. It's interesting. And one of the major factors and features of the mechs in this game is that when you pilot, you're basically an LCL. But they call that Concord, which R.I.P. Concord.
R.I.P. Concord.
Too soon.
But it's kind of like orange jello that you pilot in. And it needs to be recycled. So yeah, you're in the Tang, and it needs to be recycled. And a major plot point at one point is one of the poachers
Tang dialysis.
Tang dialysis. One of the poachers destroys Esther's Tang dialysis module. And so she has to spend most of the rest of the comic trying to fight them off and like save the species as like one of the effects I love is that the pages get more and more orange as the conquered fluid that Esther is piloting in is getting worse and worse. So it's becoming less and less efficient as a piloting medium. I just think that is such a really cool element. There's a lot of this, again, like I said, this is a 72-page comic. A lot of it is visual. The world building that you do get is so interesting in like the little pieces of it. Yeah. Anyway, Alice, what's your vibe on our Tarantula Hawk and on the other mechs we see, which I will say, the Tarantula Hawk is very standing man emoji, very Iron Giant looking, kind of like we got big feet and kind of big arms and kind of big torso and head, but the rest of it is kind of filled in.
We get
the other mechs that we see have like the blade legs that are like recurved and like they have cooler color schemes and like money buys cooler mechs.
There's exactly one frame of a hot lady pilot. Just want to give credence to that. No, I really think they're cool. I think they're really fun. The different designs are cool. Poaching is a terrible thing, but we love the adoption by the giant sandworms of the Ranger. I think that's really cool. I don't know. It hits so many good mech points, and I love just little things like the recursive legs and everything are just small, but also like this is not drawn as technical diagrams. Like these are drawn just like kind of dudes, which is cool in its own way. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh shit! Score wise, vibes are immaculate. I love the little fucking scarf thing that it has coming out of its back.
It's got some Journey energy with like a little trailing scarf.
It does. And also the changes it goes through, like one of its eye pieces gets broken, it loses an arm, and especially the epilogue is very sweet and cute. This is an 8 out of 10 for me. I really like it. Also, dust covers. It had dust covers exactly like the Pat Labor 2 mechs, which are very key.
This is also an 8 for me. I love a cool, unique piloting medium. I love the fact that the pilot's experience in meeting the world is translated to us via the comic, the panels of a comic. This is kind of like how positively I reacted to the way that Mazinger was doing stuff with Baron Ashura's face. I can never get enough of that kind of shit. The only thing that's keeping this from being a 10 is, like Alice said, like the like technical detail isn't quite there. I can't fully. It's like I don't mean this language to be this extreme, but it's like it's almost kind of worse when they're drawn with less detail than if they weren't drawn at all. And what I mean by that is, like, I can paint a really thrilling picture in my head reading Iron Widow. But if somebody drew one of those mechs like in this art style, I would get a little bit less out of it. And that's not to say that I don't like any of these drawings. These drawings are incredible. This looks like New Mexico. I love all of these panels, to be clear. It's just as a from a mecha standpoint, it just can't be a 10.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I feel that. I think I came in at about a 9. I'm a little bit higher on this because it does hit a lot of my favorite points of Mechs, which again, like a theme of this lightning round is just junkers. So like this is your National Park Service mech. A lot of it is broken. It's like an old Jeep from the 90s and it hasn't quit yet, so we're just gonna keep fixing it. And there's one page of backstory and like one throwaway comment one of the poachers makes about how it seems Esther came to be the pilot for the Tarantula Hawk, which is, it seems like there was a previous ranger and Esther was rescued at a younger age, and a situation they call, what was it, the Shroom Day? Shroom Day. They call Esther Shroom Day Esther in like a throwaway line. And I think it's because we get just like 2 panels of it. The ranger who saved her and sealed her in the Tarantula Hawk, which does function as an environment suit, basically, looks like he got dissolved into mushrooms. So it seems like part of Esther's relationship to this mech is like, this wasn't my machine originally, but it has extreme sentimental value, and I feel like I almost owe this machine and this job and this task a life debt, which is something I do like about pilots. I also think this is higher for me because I really like a lot of the aesthetics. I'm a big fan of the game Sable, which has kind of a Moebius-inspired like very minimal art style, but it has a lot of interesting organic shapes and aesthetics to it, and a lot of the color palettes that it's playing with, I was reminded of by this comic.
It's very simple, but it has so much character, and that's like the big similarity, I would say.
So yeah, and I think my major favorite thing is that we find out that the tarantula hawk is supposed to have a coffee maker, and it is broken, and it has kind of always been broken.
Modern
which I
tragedy.
think is important. Yeah,
more like.
So yeah, I brought this, so I'm biased, but it's a 9 for me, dog.
Whereas both Alice and I rated 5s on the ones that we brought.
Actually, I love the thing I brought and paid money for. I loved it.
So our next round is Warframes from the video game Warframe, which is about Warframes.
Now you might be saying to yourself, Warframe, the video game Warframe, which is about Warframes. This seems like it's been around for years. And it seems like there's over 100 Warframes, and it seems like there's a huge, or at least a substantial player and fan base for the world of Warframe. It seems like they could have made a full episode about it. We didn't want to play Warframe.
We didn't want to play Warframe. I like up front, like I tried to play Warframe once. And it just really wasn't for me. And we talked about it, like there's no law that says we can't make a full episode out of any of these if we wanted to one day. So like maybe.
No
but
law
the other
says
thing
dog
about
can't play basketball.
The other thing about Warframes is, like Nico said, like it's been around forever, and it's like one of those like. It's like quietly one of the most popular video games right now. Like I like never see anyone talking about it except in brief mentions where they talk about how popular it is. And it's like weird like that, you know?
It was like when I found out about Roblox. It's like, oh shit. This whole thing was just happening over here. That happened to me with both Fortnite and Roblox, which I think immediately age dates me like a big stamp.
But yeah, these are this was submitted by the True Dirage on Tumblr. And these are just like they said in their message, space magic controlled meat mechs. Yeah. This universe is very Destiny coded. So like there are these like weird psychic children. Like or there's like a whole race of like psychic Uchiha clan like massacre people. And so like
there was
like
a rebellion of technology a la the Geth and Mass Effect.
Yes.
Locking you into a kind of eternal war.
Yeah. One of the things I do actually conceptually just really like about Warframes is I don't know how much you guys read up on this, but like Warframes used to be people that were experimented on like so thoroughly that they became these strange machines. I
love just like the sentence on the wiki page that's like they really struggled with this technology in the fight, so they went and found survivors of a named incident, and it's got one of those names that's like Defiance 8 or whatever. It's got like a space shuttle disaster ass name, and it just makes me think like, what if we were fighting a war with AI and we couldn't win, so we went and got the crew from fucking Event Horizon?
Yeah,
because that's what seems to have happened to the people who became part of these Warframes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. So these are remote piloted by like psychic people. One of which is the player in Warframe. So there's an interesting like thing that does to me where it's like, oh, you're piloting this thing remotely using a controller, basically, which I just think is like, it's very nothing. It's just a sentence that a developer can say to you, but it does it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
as mentioned, we have over 100 of these to choose from. We went to the Warframe buffet and they said, hey, do you like exosuit style meat mechs? We have over 100 of them. And funniest feature to me, they are gendered.
They are gendered.
There are masculine and feminine Warframes. And finally, in the year of our Lord, 2024, we got what they call a pluriform Warframe, which is a non-binary Warframe, which sounds like yay diversity win, except if you go read the lore on
we did it.
It's like a corpse amalgam.
So I think the reason that it's non-binary is because it's got all sorts of genders in
It's
there.
not. It's I was gonna say it's not. It doesn't use. It's not
It's
using
jungle
they them
juice.
because it's queer. It's using they them because it's actually multiple people.
Yeah, because it's multiple
so-
body parts stuck together.
Yeah. But
But
yeah,
did y'all
I
have favorites?
I did. I picked 2. Did you guys pick? How many did you guys pick?
I picked just the one, but it has 2 forms.
Okay.
I picked.
Alice?
I have one obvious
saw a
favorite.
bunch of women.
I saw a bunch of women. I love.
Quote unquote women. These are like faceless, carapace-y, human-shaped like cyborg
it's
ninja
more
people.
about whether
things.
or not your Warframe sort of has the suggestion of tits than your Warframe
Yes.
actually has a gender identity.
Okay, I'm gonna go through my top 3. So my top 3: Octavia, who was the DJ mech in trans colors.
A bard.
Literally a bard. The skill set is pretty cool. I really like it. I watched a couple of clip videos, but design-wise, aesthetically beautiful. Number 2 is Nova, who is just like antimatter themed, which is wild, but I just really loved their entire everything going on. And then my last one is one of the earlier ones, which is Jade, who is just walking around in a giant flowing dress.
Yep.
She's
You know what?
angelic, and I just biblically accurate angel vibes. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. Can we talk about some of the descriptions also on these, because they're
Okay, the
just
descriptions of these, some of these get Pokédex level, what the fuck did you just say? Like, some
Yeah.
of them are like, this one plays music, it's really nice, and then some of them are like, torn from the eternal darkness, she forever mourns her lost husband and her lost limbs, you know?
Octavia's. She's a later release, and hers is Octavia turns bass, beat, and melody into a symphony of devastation. The music of her Mandicord gives her high survivability and supports allies. Her composition means the enemy's destruction. Versus Jade, who is become enraptured by the song of devastation. Through her, the Jade Light can be a force of destruction or a source of support. What are we doing?
We are saying words. Lore is fun. It's fun to have lore. I'm sorry, I just had a very dark thought. You know, if we ever do a charity stream, we're gonna have to play Warframe.
Oh shit. Dark lore.
Anyway.
I'm in, actually. That would be fun to play together.
Pay us. By us, I mean a charity to play Warframe. That's the only way you'll do it.
Yeah, slip into our DMs. Tell us a good charity we can do one for. I'll stream with you guys for 12 hours. It has to be 12 hours.
All right,
Yes.
Bri, what's your favorite Warframe? Or
I have
Warframes?
two.
I'm
I
ready.
have 2. The first one is Kome. This one is like a red and white, like it looks kind of it's not quite there. It kind of looks like what if you had an Oni face, but it was like half melted off. Like it just looks very interesting and like kind of waxy. I picked it because its moveset is like it puts these like weird laser threads through enemies and then like hoists them up like marionettes. It's really fucking cool looking. This one looks the most like a lot of these look like this, but this one looks the most like a metallic rouge thing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I thought it
will
looked like one
say-
of them. Yeah.
If you like mechs that have like a ton of design, like again, I said earlier, it's like
maximalism.
yeah, maximalism, but also just like if you like some of the aesthetic stuff Destiny has going on, and if you kind of like the Final Fantasy stuff, but you wish it was more mechanized, I think Warframe is right in that sweet spot.
Yeah, totally. My next,
What was your second
my
child?
other favorite one is Coolervo. This guy.
Coolervo?
We got
Yeah,
we
that's
got
liter-
Vo and we got Coolervo.
So, it's spelled
Oh, hello.
Kullervo, which I was like Kuyervo. No, literally in the
Jose
gameplay
Cuervo,
trailer.
the Warframe.
You mean the one that actively has 15 knives stabbed in his chest at all times?
Yes.
Oh.
No. So, in the gameplay trailer, they literally call him Coolervo, which I'm like, that's the oddest possible pronunciation of those letters. Anyway, he's like red and has like this blue plasma like running
Kinda
through his
looks like
body.
a collector from Mass Effect. Like, not to say things look like other things constantly, but just kind of, it has some carapace look, and the head shape is interesting.
Yeah, it's like got like this weird bioluminescent plasma running through it, and then like he looks like a fucking tarot card. Like he's like every joint and like every part of his body has like a screaming mantis like dew claw knife in it that he like can like explode out and then like psychokinetically control it. It's also incredibly cool. I don't know, it just looked awesome.
Yeah, I pulled up a gameplay. This is great. Do you have any others? Give me three.
The only other note I have is just the primes, which I don't understand what these are, but I just think Corey would like these because if you want to talk about maximalism,
they're kind of iced up. They're just like iced up versions of.
They look like if anybody's played like a MOBA, they look like a prestige skin of something else. Like that's my theory as to what they actually are.
Yeah,
is like you will get a battle pass, and if you earn enough points on the battle pass, you can purchase this thing that looks like fucking a mega yacht.
I always thought that they looked like beavers with big gold teeth.
This is wild to me because it's like, oh, ships passing in the night. If I had gotten into Warframe during the period of time where I briefly was like spending money on mobile games and especially free-to-play games, I would have been fucked. Like, I just love looking at images, unfortunately. My career playing Overwatch 1 was mostly spent trying to get skins for Symmetra because this is the exact kind of aesthetic that I'm into. And I'm just like, oh, it's probably for the best that now that I'm a 30-year-old woman with like a mortgage and a budget, I
think I completely agree with you for like literally the exact same reason because like speaking of the Nova or of the primes being the way they are, like I grinded and got a battle pass so I could get Syndra's golden weapon or Symmetra's golden weapon in Overwatch. So exactly the same thing.
Yeah, literally the same thing.
Yeah.
I am only bringing one. But I'm bringing diversity. I'm bringing the diversity one. So immediately when I saw that they were like, here's the gender breakdown. There's approximately half women and half men, and new, we have a non-binary person. I was like, okay, so what's kind of the vibe on your idea of non-binary? It turns out the vibe, of course, as we said earlier, is corpse. So I've posted some images. So the one I picked is Zaku, but it's spelled Xaku. The unprimed version looks very necrotic. Like, it doesn't literally have bones sticking out of it like Numidium, but it looks decayed. And it also looks piecemeal. You can see the evidence of, like, this was assembled from other destroyed Warframes.
Yeah, it looks really good, actually.
The primed version, which is, like, a gilded version of that almost looks like a enameled doll with this animating smoke in it. And I just said... It looks really cool.
It looks really cool.
Should I play Warframe? Which is how they get you. That's how they fucking get you. They make a non-binary robot, and
it's gonna be really fun when we start the charity stream, and it's just us all entering our credit card information to buy items.
Yeah, it's me immediately being like, I need to wail so that I can get the different versions of Zaku.
Did you see the skeletal version of the Zaku model? Is that so cool?
It has just like a mostly smoke version of itself, which is incredibly fucking cool. Like, I think non-binary people are so powerful when they turn into smoke, which is an ability they all have.
They all have this ability. Alice, what is your rating of the Warframes?
Warframes are cool as fuck. Damn, I wish I would play video games more, but I'm a real gamer. I only play Animal Crossing New Horizons. This one's gonna be an 8 out of 10.
You only play mobile gacha games that worry your friends, okay? Don't lie to us.
No cute costumes, 8 out of 10.
Call out post, Discord doesn't have privacy anymore, and I can see how often Alice plays Fallout 76. So I'm refuting both of you on this statement.
That's beautiful, Brian. Brian, how would you rate these beautiful frames of war?
These are a 7. I like, they're not, I will go for the maximalist angle. Like I said, I liked Final Fantasy a lot. Only, I would say like 1 out of every 5 of these looked inspired and unique and cool to me. And I know we said like over 100. It doesn't seem like there are that many to me just because there are so many forgettable ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of iterations that are kind of similar.
Yeah, and so like...
Warframe fans freaking out. They are all unique and beautiful babies.
These are all my beautiful wives. I'm sorry, Brian.
No, you're fine. They look really cool. But like they have a lot of cool ideas, but like it's not in my tunnel vision at the moment. So it's just kind of a 7 to me.
To me, this is a 7. I am going to put a 10. Unfortunately, these are like exactly my shit. Like, I know there's a lot of repetition, but like I kept clicking on things and going like, kind of would like a figure of that. I kept clicking on things and being like, if they had all of these available as like pop-up parade style and price figures, where it's like a simple figure but it has the full detail and it's like a reasonable $35, I would be fucked. I would have so many of these things. As it is, I did open the store page and they have a whole bunch of they do have a fair number of collector statues, but also posters and stuff, so like you could get in very deep, but I think for a free-to-play game they should embrace the fact that I could have somebody rip the 3D files and print one of these for me, and I need
ADHD horse blinders for Nico on pod so that when we like look at cool media she doesn't like
start buying
ruin
things.
her life. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 10 because it reflects that sickness within me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got that sickness within me.
Yep.
For this next one, I'm going to rely a little bit on Alice again just because I don't have Netflix.
So let me talk about this. So I need to prompt this with something to our listeners. Hey, listeners, I have opinions on Netflix's Gundam Requiem for the Vengeance. That's not what we're here to discuss. Because I don't think, as much as I would love for us to have this be the one that we cover in the Gundam franchise, you have to know a lot of the Gundam lore to actually enjoy this, I feel like. And then we're not going to cover it part 2 because, hey guys, stop making new Gundams in the 1 Year War. The 1 Year War was 1 year. All mecha does not have to exist in the 1 Year War. That is my answer.
A lot of shit is going on, Alice.
So
I don't
real.
know what to tell you.
We don't need another gun tank variant, guys. We have them all.
Nico, you haven't seen the graph that is the like per capita dispensement of Gundams across the Gundam franchise. Like the 1 Year War, 365 calendar days, has like quintuple the amount of Gundams in any other set of time in any other Gundam franchise ever.
What, like even more than Jivo?
It has like 45 Gundams. The 1 Year War.
Specifically Gundams, not all the other mobile suits, which
exactly.
we can get into how many different variants appear in the fucking universe.
I think the Gundam franchise might be sick. Like, we might need to take it to the vet. It's kind of throwing up a little bit.
This one was submitted to us by listener Iris J on Blue Sky. Specifically,
hey,
Iris
we have
J.
Blue Sky. Any Twitter alternative you can think of, we've been there, even if we had to ride it all the way to the grave. RIP co-host.
Hey,
anyway.
We even have a Mastodon. I never use it anymore, but we have it. So if you're like one of those freaks who didn't want to go to Blue Sky, went to Mastodon, let me know.
And if you're one of those freaks who just stayed on Tumblr, hi.
Hi, yeah.
Anyway, Alice. So
specifically, Iris J wanted to talk about the Junkyard Zaku. So to give you everybody the context, Gundam appears, destroys a bunch of mechs, and one of the main themes, this is from the Zeon's perspective, is that you really wish you're going to have a Zaku when things go bad because it's your only fighting chance. So their Gao destroyers have been destroyed, and they're kind of fucked up. So she goes to the junkyard, which Zeon is in the war always kind of on the back foot after the initial battles. Once the GMs start being mass produced, it becomes a retreating war. And so they have a junkyard where they're repurposing battle tanks and Zakus and bringing parts out. And so the Gundam's coming. We got to get some Zakus because the Gundam's coming. That's it. And so she goes and she's like, Miss Solaris, my queen, my everything, says, build me 2 Zakus with what you have. And they're like, what? We're a junkyard. And she's like, fucking do it. And so they drop 2 of the coolest Zakus to ever grace our presence. So this is the undefined Zaku 2, the unidentified Zaku 2. So what makes this unique, right? What makes this mostly unique is that it has Magellan tank armor as its shoulder palisade. The Magellan tank is the Zeon's main battle tank. And it has it has Magellan tank treads as improvised armor. Its chest plate is actually from a Zaku 1. If you can check it pretty quickly, that's a Zaku 1 chest plate. And there's some other little funkery going on. They built 2 of these, and I'm trying to, let me see if I can. So they unironically have a very good website for this.
Well, we needed another great website because we lost the Jivo website.
I'm surprised this one is. Oh, by the way, have we ever talked about the cover for Gundam Requiem for Vengeance?
No.
Yeah, or no, but
This is all you need to know.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
Lammin'.
it's got they do another version of this kind of later on, her Zaku 2F. She has a red palisade with some camo netting on it and some little ears on it. But here is what it is supposed to look like in its full form. This is a Zaku 2F. So you can kind of compare the two together of like how fucking wild this thing is. Here, let me see if I can get this other one. So I just think it's neat. I like wartime combat stuff, making decisions like this. I like the repurposing of the Magellan tank to have more armor on this thing because that's all they've got going for them. I do wish it was a little jankier in how it was constructed, because it's obvious like there was pretty much a already existing Zaku here. Also, did it need the cat ears? Maybe not. I like them.
I cannot believe you're saying this.
Yeah, I can't believe Alice has lowered herself to this point.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Junker Zaku 2, as I'm going to call it?
This is such a cool... Oh, go ahead.
I immediately looked up to see if there was a gunpla kit, so that's kind of where I'm at.
All right, that's a fair assessment.
They've only done the new Gundam and her Type 2F, which I have already pre-ordered. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, they have it as an action figure, but not as a kit.
Nah, not the same. I think I completely agree, Alice. I wish this was a little bit less polished. It looks a little bit more like a skin than like an alternate build. I wish there were dangly bits. I wish there were like a lot more like scarring situations. Mm-hmm. However, it's such an incredibly cool idea. I love the way the palisade looks. And I mean, if you haven't listened to like our early episodes, I don't think we've talked about like the Zaku in a very long time. I fucking love the Zaku 2. I love that mech so much. I will never disrespect a woman this way. So that's just where I'm at with it.
Do you like how it also has little claw feet because it's a kitty cat? Nico, what do you think about the Zaku Junker?
I like it. I agree with Brian. I feel like, you know what I'm thinking of, and I know we're constantly, just like as a group, thinking about this. I'm thinking of Pacific Rim Uprising and the Scrapper Mech, the little guy. Mm-hmm. That I think had more visual diversity in the parts that had clearly been salvaged to create it, which I would have liked a little bit more of that energy here. But I like the tank tread armor. I like how, Alice, I really appreciate that you posted like the model that it's supposed to resemble and then the actual model as it is, because you can see how in visual design it's echoing how it's supposed to look, but it is obviously using parts that didn't come with the unit. I think they could have pushed that a little harder. I think we could have had more like fucked up paint and battle damage. But hey, that's for...
There's exposed gears on the forearm. One of the kneecaps is unpainted. But it could have had so much more, right? Other parts.
And I mean, that's for me when I get a kit and paint it. So please drop the kit, Bandai. I will get it. I won't watch this, but I'll get that kit. So that's what matters. I like it. Did we do ratings? I didn't note them down. Alice, what's your rating?
Unfortunately, we aren't rating the GM that exists in this, which is one of my favorite GM variants ever made in a Gundam. But we can't talk about Requiem for a Vengeance, guys. But for the Junker 2 Zaku, one of the best Zakus I've ever seen. This one's an 8 out of 10.
All right, Bri.
Yep, same 8 out of 10. You'll never see me talking negatively about the women I love, including the Zaku 2.
It's across the board, gang, because I agree, because I love a Zaku. I honestly, again, everyone, to recap, the only parts of Gundam I have ever seen: 0080 War in the Pocket, Gundam Evolution, the video game, with RIP,
G
and
Savior.
then G Savior. And like that's it, y'all. So
You're about to get Endless Waltz too. You're getting the weirdest Schmorzaborg.
Schmorzaborg.
I love it, but also like universally my thought has been in these weird ass pieces of media that I've consumed of the Gundam franchise, Xeon just does it better. Sorry, I'm just way more interested in their design aesthetics than I am in anything that is happening on the other side.
I'm excited for Endless Waltz, don't get me wrong. I am so excited for our next Gundam project. I don't know if you guys both know what I'm talking about if you looked at the recording schedule recently, but I'm not going to say it. I'm just very excited for it.
Yeah.
Because I know Alice legally can't complain about it, which is going to be fun.
But yeah, so it is 888s.
Wait, before we go, guys, look at the GM from this. I need you to see this beautiful baby boy. I love him.
What the fuck? How did he look lamer?
I love him so much. He's twinkified.
They yassified the GM.
This is miserable, and I hope that the Zaku crushes it to death. Anyway.
Now, let me get out in front of this next one. Because people are going to hear this name and they're going to know. You two may already know. The next one we have is Zia Reimer from Hades Project Zia Reimer. This was submitted by Dragon Tamer Blues on Twitter. Now, we're here to talk about Zia Reimer as it exists in the anime, which is not hentai. To be 100% clear. The manga is hentai. The anime is not hentai.
Don't worry, I reviewed both.
The weeb ass shit scale.
But this is
when you watch this, Nico. Do you say to yourself, "I wonder if this is based on hentai"?
Well, I mean, I have a series of important questions to put to Alice, which is how much are the mechs involved in the hentai?
Not enough.
Okay, well that tells me everything I need to know. No, I will say viewing this like fairly decent animated mech fight, I did not go, you know what this needs?
Dick and balls and pussy. Like this is okay. When we talked about anime that like gatekeeps you earlier. This is dudes rock anime ass anime that nobody can how do you hate this?
This shit is so fucking animation quality is insane.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's incredibly fucking cool.
Yeah.
The transformation sequence, the weight of the weapons, the sense of scale. The orbs.
We are orb maxing.
Zia Reimer is a 90s ass mech, so it's a massive hulking monstrosity with 10 billion spikes. It's like silver colored, and it's got these cool fucking orbs in its hands and chest that it uses to, you know what? It's like the Chronmacula kind of.
Yeah.
Like it just like does crazy shit with those all the time. So yeah, what are your vibes on this guy?
I love all of them. I am just everything about this, from the jet boosters to like the weapons popping out of nowhere, and they each have their
gunbuster
own
ass shit.
Gunbuster ass shit. And just the escalation of explosions.
Yeah.
to the
I love a good
where they take out like
animation,
an eighth of the Earth by the end of this.
Yeah.
Main pilot, kind of a dork though. But the mechs themselves, love it. The transformation sequence fucking ended me. 10 out of 10. I don't know if I can give my score up top, but 10 out of 10.
You can do it. It's fine.
Do it.
I have nothing to say. This shit fucking rips, man.
It rips. It does rip. I'm gonna meet you there, and I'm gonna give it an 8 because I'm high on it, but I'm not like, you know, it's not doing a lot of my niche shit that I like, but I love an explosion animation. Like, this looks so cool. I did immediately have to try to track down the manga, and like, obviously I haven't clicked deep enough into it, but it is so funny the extent to which this looks like a high school manga with mechs, a la Mazinger Z, and yet knowing that somewhere in this darkness is hentai is like harrowing to my soul.
I honestly think we should cover this as a full episode. If I'm being real.
Yeah. Maybe. I agree. I think I'm gonna also give it an 8. One of the things that I really like about this that you don't get in the video is that the pilot is actually has this weird. So the pilot was a test tube baby and is like genetically engineered.
God, Tubi.
He's a Tubi. He's genetically engineered to pilot Zeorimer. And when he pilots Zeorimer, and like this is the structure of like an early anime, right? The episode will be like, okay, here's this unique robot you have to go and fight. Oh no, the dorky protagonist is like kind of losing. And then he has like a genetically implanted alter ego that has like, it's like the same name, but 2 letters off. And he becomes like a psychopath. And that's why all the explosions happen, because he just doesn't give a fuck what ends up happening as long as he gets to make a big explosion. And I think that's just incredibly cool. So that's why I think it's an 8.
Okay, well, I got to a certain point clicking through the manga. I'm just gonna post this for just like our internals, you know, just like sort of the office.
For our research department?
Yeah, for the office, you know, because we are researchers
science.
here.
Science.
Yeah. This is just a series of panels. The text of these panels is as follows. This is the dimensional joint. Once it is installed in your uterus, your body will function as the coupler for Zeorimer's ultra-dimensional system.
Damn, we didn't talk about the glasses this man is wearing. This is an insane manga panel.
This is insane. We're just gonna put, so this one is technically safe for work. There's like a leg and then unfortunately the mention of a uterus, but we're gonna post this one because it's insane. Anyway, I may have to cover this with Alice at some point just so that we can talk about the eroticism of the machine.
I just found Volume 1, the laser disc, on sale on eBay.
Laser disc. You gotta get the laser disc.
No, this shit's great, but we gotta move on from this.
Yeah. So we got our last one here. This guy is somehow like an all-timer classic to me that I completely forgot about.
I think because we all, like, that happened, we all loved it, but do you really ever need to revisit that media kind of vibes?
Yeah. So this is the exosuit from Detroit Become Alien. What did you guys
9.
Yeah, have you guys seen District 9 before? Do you guys like know the gist of this? Okay, cool.
Yeah, back when I
actually
his
think
movie making. Yeah, I remember this.
This is, I mean, this was a pretty good movie, I thought. I just can't. So here's the thing about bugs. I could really only handle watching this movie once. I think that the aliens, while they're very sweet and there are a lot of tender moments and cute moments with them, they are super, super fucking gross. And I get shivers. I can't do it. Sorry, Prawns.
So District 9 is... It's great. We don't have to get into this story, but the exosuit, the payoff for this exosuit, which we see a few times in this movie building up to it, is really great. I do like a mecha that is gene locked. I don't know if that's the right word, but like only aliens can pilot this, which is why the humans are like, we can't do shit with this. So it just is kind of scrap metal, but then he turns into a half alien so he can use it, which is pretty cool. I love the way it moves. I love its little spindly legs. Where this movie shines is with its CGI. I think we can all say that. But the little head strap helmet he has to wear with the HUD and its little legs with the little pistons to stabilize it and its little jumps. It's very Titanfall-esque in its movements. But there are a couple of different scenes where, like, one part where he, like, opens the cockpit to show his face, where there are just a bunch of little pieces moving. The weapons are integrated into the hands. It has chafe flares on it. It hits so many different, like, this is just a good mech design.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's very cool.
The arc cannon is pretty fucking great on it. There is a moment where they try and use an anti-material rifle to punch into it. And it does work because it's just a mobile tank at the end of the day.
Anyway, Nico, you were saying something.
I've forgotten because my cat is purring directly into the mic. Anyway, I think it's incredibly cool. Obviously, District 9 has aged unevenly, and I think there's a lot of political stuff you can get into, but a lot of the CGI, the creature design, the mechanical design, even like the environment and cultural design, like in creating a world visually that looks like it has incorporated both like racial tension and like species tension
for a long time, I think it's incredibly well executed, and this was like a really cool kind of crowning moment of that.
And one of the
I think it's very cool.
better mech rampages, if I can say that.
We love a mech rampage.
So he's just walking around and like the whole suite of weapons, the arc cannon, the pulse charges, like people are disintegrating from these alien weapens, and it is fucking
brutal.
cool to watch.
Like if you don't do well with gore, then don't watch the clip we'll post of this. But it has meatiness.
Can we talk about the best part of it though? What makes this one of the best mechs ever made in media? He has a grav weapon. He picks up a pig with it and hurls it and kills a dude with a pig.
That's important.
It's in like a 3-second clip. He just fucking does it, and it's so good.
I love Half-Life.
I love Half-Life. Anyway, this guy's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah?
This is peak mech. I have to say, this is like exactly what I want out of a mech.
Bri?
I love that it's gene locked. I love that it like has a bunch of cool stuff going on. I love the action sequences that it's in. At the end of the day, it does kind of just look like a prawn to me. They could have made them look like anything, and they made them look like themselves.
Fucking prawn.
So I'm gonna give it a 7. Like I do like it a lot. It's just that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I think I agree, and I can get behind a 7 on this because it's not like the craziest, coolest thing in the world to me, but like all of the machinery and the fact that like really nobody knows how to expertly pilot it, and of course, obviously, the pilot is having a janky time being like half prawn and like half alien in that way, and like struggling with it and struggling with literal like immune issues and stuff. Like, I like the messiness of it. It's just not like it doesn't hit all of my notes, but
exactly.
I'm pretty high on it.
Y'all are so wrong. This shit fucking rips. Thank you to Terminal Saint for submitting this one.
Yes, that was one. Yeah, thank you, Alice. I forgot to say that. But yeah, that is our last one. We're gonna take a short break. We don't have a letter because this whole episode is basically a bunch of letters. But we will come back and play a game, and this game is going to be a game.
We're doing more science.
Hey guys, Alice here. Thanks for listening to On the Shoulders of Giants. We're really happy you're here, but if you know anybody who might be interested, we'd love if you share our work with them. If you are enjoying what we're doing, maybe send us a message, or what would really help us out is if you leave a review online. Really, a lot of the algorithms will push people down if they don't have reviews, so it really helps if you just go and write something on the internet. Heck, we might even read one on the podcast if it's really nice and makes our hearts go doki doki. So if you could do that, maybe do it, and thanks again for listening. Now, back to the show.
We're here to play a game. Before I tell you the name of this game, I'm gonna post something in the chat. And when I post this thing in the chat, you're gonna have some associations with it, and you might have thoughts that are undue.
You're gonna post Zero Rhymer Hentai in the chat.
I'm gonna post Zero Rhymer Hentai, but I'm gonna need you to click the link.
Okay. I'm afraid. app.roll20.net Brian?
Yeah.
Brian's listening. Brian just dropped a Roll20 join game link to a Roll20 that we use to sometimes play one-shot games in. Let's launch.
Oh, it hasn't loaded for me yet. I can't participate in the mirth. What the fuck?
Wait, I gotta play a location card real quick.
So this game is called Jehuti.
Why are you calling it this?
Because this game is Jeopardy, but that sounds like the mech from Zone of the Enders, whose name is Jehuti, so I called it Jehuti. This
is what we've been cooking in the lab.
I can't emphasize enough that the currency on these Jeopardy tiles is well, it's listed as Evo coin, but I assume you meant Givo coin, the only currency we accept here.
Isn't it called Evo coin?
It is, but Pico always calls it Givo coin.
I am the moron.
So what I've done here is I've put I've wanted to do this game for a long time, but I wanted to do it in a fancy way because you can actually get PowerPoint templates that like actually make a functional, clickable version of Jeopardy that you can play. And I was going of Jeopardy, and I was going to like superimpose like OSG aesthetics onto that and make you guys play it.
We can do that.
However,
eventually.
I'm in the middle of designing a cookbook right now. So I just don't. I picked Comic Sans because I decided to lead into it, but this is like a just a literal black and white blank grid of text. How we're gonna do this is when we're ready, I'm gonna start a 10-minute timer, and you guys basically are gonna alternate, and whoever has the most Evo coins by the end of the 10 minutes wins the game.
Oh my fucking god!
This is so important to me.
I got nothing. I got nothing. What are the categories?
So the category, is that right? Hold on, I just need to see if this...
Nico,
The
what are the
categories we have
categories?
currently listed are music, books, anime,
Yeah.
Gundam,
Yeah.
and movies.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then I believe, so here's the other thing about the logistics of this. I don't have the Roll20 open because my laptop sucks incredibly. So if
I'll mark them off as we go.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you would do that. If I recall correctly, it's 200, 400, and 600,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going, if you guys are ready, I'll start the timer and we will begin with Alice.
Now, these follow Jeopardy rules, right? So we have to start with the lower values and move up, correct?
Correct.
Good.
Also, according to Jeopardy rules, these are going to be phrased to you as answers. You do have to phrase your answer in the form of a question, or you do not get the Evo coins.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And I need those Evo coins. I gotta buy the new mech that dropped in Gundam Evo. It's the shitty Chunk Jaku 2.
I'm making a last minute decision. I'm actually going to give us 15 minutes because I just realized I'm going to need a couple seconds to paste the text into the chat because otherwise that'd be mean if I didn't.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought we were going
So-
on words only.
Anyway.
Well, we are, but they're written words.
But they're written words.
Idiot.
Hey, fuck you. Honey.
All right. I'm starting now. Alice, what would you like?
I would like anime for 200 Evo coins, please.
This accessory has 100% canonically been considered a mech.
What is a watch?
That is correct. 200
So these are OSG established lore.
And yes, these are all established OSG lore things.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Nico.
Well, are we not doing Jeopardy rules where
No,
if Alice
no.
is on a roll, she keeps going?
That's
No,
stupid.
because otherwise it would be impossible to... Like,
Okay.
if you got a lead, it'd be impossible.
Well, since I'm an expert, can I get Gundam for 200 Evo coin?
Yes. Children exclusively eat this fast food on the ground in the dirt.
You know, it's difficult to say, but I'm gonna have to go with McDonald's there, Alex.
It's McDonald's.
Which one was that?
I'm Alex Trebek.
Fuck, no, I don't get the points. Because I didn't
Why?
say what is McDonald's.
Oh, you didn't say what is McDonald's.
I gotta learn.
Damn.
Was that books or movies?
That was
Gundam.
Gundam.
Fuck you. Okay.
Okay, Alice.
You know what? We're all getting outside of our comfort zone. Books for 200, please.
This mathematical term can be used to describe the space in which Yuri can but may not happen.
What is Schrodinger's Yuri?
That is incorrect, Nico. Would you like to try and answer?
What is certain inevitable geometries?
That is correct. Okay, back to Nico.
Okay, can I get music for 200 Evo coin?
Yeah. This famous composer is an international household family name associated with many science fiction titles, including Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, fuck. I don't actually know composers. All I can think is Yoko Kanno.
That's correct.
Oh, shit! Thank you, Yoko
Oh, wait,
Kanno.
but you also didn't say it as a question.
Fuck, God, I'm so bad at this. See, this is why I can't go on Jeopardy, because they would literally just be like, you're a stupid clown. You know things, but you don't remember the rules.
I was marking these
That's
down
fair.
as you getting the points. Ooh, I need to mark these as you not getting the points. Sorry.
Oh, I have that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need to keep up with what we've chosen.
Yeah. All right, Alice.
Gonna try and keep in my comfort zone. Anime for 400 Evo coin.
The people of a war-torn settlement eat only this.
What is potatoes?
That is incorrect. Nico, would you like to try and steal?
What is cabbage?
Correct.
The Cabbage House, Alice, remember? From your favorite anime of all time, Price of Smile.
Then there's the scene where they just get a box of potatoes and that's all they eat.
Yeah,
Well,
but come on, the Cabbage House,
You
like
can't-
that's
Guys, you can't fight these things in Jeopardy. That's not how it works. The judges
Yeah.
have made
you
a
can't
decision.
literally get up there and fight Alex Trebek. Well, he died, didn't he? Who does Jeopardy
Jesus
now?
Christ.
he did die. I believe it's what's her name who was Blossom.
Dana White.
Cheryl Blossom?
No,
From
the
Riverdale?
movie Blossom. She's in Big
Oh.
Bang Theory.
Sheldon?
No, she. I said she.
I don't know what Sheldon identifies in. Sheldon.
Mayim Bialik. That's. I'm pretty sure that's who hosts Jeopardy now. Anyway, we're losing time.
We've
It's
gotta
Nico's
go
turn.
to the old people home and ask them. They'll know.
Okay. Who's up?
You.
Nico.
I stole. That's right. That's right. Can I get movies for 200 Evo coin?
Yeah.
Stupid Boovid.
Villains may yell this when they jump out of a window to their death.
Oh, what is Geronimo?
Correct.
Film.
Film, cinema.
Okay, Alice.
Give me Gundam for 400.
This mobile suit won the hearts of the panel of experts, that's us, so thoroughly that it achieved diplomatic immunity when considering its presence in a bad video game.
You know it's my boy, the gun tank.
That's correct. You didn't say it as a
Alice.
question.
You didn't say it as a question. I'm glad you finally did, so I feel less of a moron.
I don't like this game.
Okay, Nico.
On stage in Jeopardy going, I don't like this game. Brian, can I get anime for 600 Evo coin?
You bitch!
Yes. This food is so expensive that to throw it on the ground and step on it is a show of wealth and excess.
Oh. What is carrot?
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Alice, would you like to try and steal?
I was also thinking of the Sin-Duality Noir carrot.
Oh, sorry. Then that's correct. I thought it was a banana. It is this.
Oh,
it is
no,
that.
they just look at bananas.
They just look
Okay,
at bananas behind glass. But no, they...
Okay. You're right. Sorry, Nico. That's correct. You got it. You got it with carrot. Okay.
Why did I
Alice.
help you? I would like books for 400, please.
Would you?
No.
Books for 400. This once great mech has been sealed away so long it was considered a myth.
What is the Golden Dragon? What Iron Widow had?
What Iron Widow had? I'll give it to you. The correct answer is Yellow Dragon. But
Yeah.
Close enough.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheldon.
You know
who is
what's
hosting
funny
this
about
game.
Mechs? I also was like, wait, this is Alpha Zero, right? No, Mechs just be locked away for ages.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's fine.
But people didn't know about Alpha Zero. It wasn't like a
No.
myth in that way.
No, it wasn't.
Anyway.
a myth.
So that is back to Nico.
Books for 600, please.
The process by which a pilot and a mech can elevate their thoughts to the same frequency and intermingle their memories and personalities is called this.
What is the bloom?
That is correct.
Yay!
For some reason, I thought everyone would forget that by now.
We just did that episode.
I know.
With our best friends from
This
Follow
is
the
how
Leader
much I
podcast.
estimate your intelligence.
Brian thinks we're all
We
morons.
would never
That's
forget
fair.
our Oni-chan podcast. Thank you.
That's our Senpai podcast. You've already
you
forgot
fucked it.
them.
You already forgot. Alice, I'm just going to throw you out an airlock.
I'd like
I don't have an
Gundam
airlock. I'm
for
gonna make one.
600, please.
Would you?
Okay.
I gotta try and win and catch up. I gotta.
Gundam for 600. An exotic and flamboyant bartender might shoot you if you don't order this.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
What was that, guys? Fuck. What is a Miguel?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Nico, would you like to try and steal?
Oh, fuck. I can see the drinks cart. I can see the guy who looks like knockoff Willem Dafoe.
Miguel is kind of close in a way. I will say that.
Is it, what is
Forgot his name.
Margarita?
No, that is the one he will shoot you if you do order.
Yeah,
no,
that's right. I got confused.
The cocktail who is the guy who they're meeting's name is Philippe.
Oh my god, that's right.
I feel like I just said something really racist.
A film. A movie film.
Alice is racist to New Manhattaners.
Real?
I'm sorry, to be real, to residents of Toronto.
No, to residents of the Illuminati.
Okay, that's actually back to Nico now.
Okay, can I get movies for 400 Evo coin?
America's favorite twink piloted this gothic nightmare mech.
What is Dillendow?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That's the name of the twink, not the name of the mech.
Oh fuck, you're so right.
Alice, would you like to try and steal?
I don't remember that fucking mech's name. What is the guy who done breathed fire?
What is Alcides? That was a deep cut. All right, back to Alice.
Movies for 600, please.
These two men will literally charge at each other screaming their own names rather than go to therapy.
What is Achilles and...
I believe in you. I believe in you.
We do
Can
need
I
both
do an
names.
assist?
Alexander, I challenge you. Okay, I remembered.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Nico, would you like to try and steal?
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
These two men will literally charge at each other screaming their own names rather than go to therapy.
I don't...
We're at the 3-minute mark.
We're at the 3-minute mark. So we've got, 12 minutes for me to sit here and think about this.
No, we have 3 minutes.
Oh god, is this... It's not Pacific Rim Uprising. I'm trying to remember every film we've ever seen. No, I don't have anything.
All right, the correct answer is Ignis X and Vulcan Hastus from Promare.
I fucking forgot about Promare despite its landmark yaoi. I can't believe this.
There's an anime under the movies column. We're fucked.
It's an anime movie, bitch. Get over it.
I don't remember the host of Jeopardy, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, being this mean.
It's Maya Bialik.
Nico, choose a fucking category.
It's me. 400 Evo coin music, please.
This famous composer is an international household family name associated with many science fiction titles, including Ghost in the Shell.
Isn't that just the same?
Yeah, weird about that, isn't it?
Is it Yoko Kanno again?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
I actually think I know
it was
this
Hans
one,
Zimmer.
because I thought this when this question first came up.
Okay.
Who is Kenji Kawai?
That is correct, Alice. Take those 400.
Yeah, that was 400
from Ghost in the Shell. I'm so proud. Okay. Sorry. And my last one, music for 600.
The composer of this piece of media went on to oversee the scores of several notable productions, including Hocus Pocus.
Who is Sharon Apple?
No, that's Yoko Kanno. Incorrect. Nico, would you like to try and steal?
Who is Alan Silvestri?
I'm gonna give you both another run at this one. I'm gonna rephrase the question. The composer of this piece of media went on to oversee the scores of several notable productions, including Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
Wait. Macross Plus?
No, that is also Yoko Kanno. That is the third time you've said Yoko Kanno.
Okay, but Hocus Pocus, so that gives us a specific time frame. Is it...
Think of the media we've covered.
Is it Robot Jocks?
No, unfortunately, the answer we're looking for is what is G-Savior?
Oh, God, that's right.
Let me tally these up here.
G-Savior really came for us. Oh, you don't have to tally these up. I don't need to know.
Alice said, I'm okay living in ignorance, actually.
Alice managed to get 10,000 Evo coins. Evo coins. Let me just say that. But let me see.
It's Evo coins. On our podcast, the currency that we send you is Evo coins. It's legally distinct.
And with more than double that, we have Nico as the winner.
Oh my God! I know things. Even though, and I have to say, huge comeback story for me, who kept forgetting the actual rules of Jeopardy.
Okay.
Well, thank you for putting that together, Brian. You are super busy right now, and yet it was a delight.
I cannot wait for Jehudi to come back. This is now that this has been cooked, we can all use this for our games, correct?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
We're cooked.
This was actually my intent with this was to be like, okay, I literally cannot think. We're talking about fucking a coupon on this episode. I cannot think of a fucking game. Let's just play Jeopardy. But anyway, do we have any final thoughts on lightning rounds, on Jehudi, on any of this before we leave these people behind to go pilot our mechs into the sunset?
I'm still unfortunately clicking through Zeo Rhymer.
Thank you to everybody who submitted one. Honestly, as I've said before on our Mech Media podcast, there's a lot more Mech Media than I ever thought about, and we do need to talk about it. But I'm sorry, Ghost, I'm never playing Destiny.
Yeah, Alice has standards. She plays Fallout 76.
True. The superior video game by all accords.
I'm a trans woman, I have to.
Thank you for listening, pilots. Remember, you can reach out for advice from the team at our email, questions@osgpod.com, and non-pilots can send general questions or feedback to the same address. You can also catch up with us on social media for updates and more. Make sure to check back in 2 weeks when we'll be discussing
Ghost in the Shell.
Until then, goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye. I requiem for a vengeance love you.
Smash.